safely at home. So we have learnt in the earlier lecture that what is free vibration. So you have seen that in free vibration there is no external force. Alright, the body is vibrating itself, and then that is known as free vibration. Now, but you know that is an ideal thing. I have given all the 7 or 8 examples, and one of the example was that a simple pendulum oscillating in free space or vacuum. Then you observe that if you just make the pendulum oscillate for free vibration, then you will observe that the amplitude of the vibration will remain the same and it will vibrate for infinite time. Alright, but have you ever observed that in the physics lab while doing any experiment with simple pendulum? No. What we have observed in the physics lab, that if you set a pendulum into oscillation, after some time it is like this, it is vibrating like this, then slowly the amplitude decreases, then ultimately come into rest. Isn't it? So it never vibrate means with the constant amplitude for infinite time. Alright, why it is happening? Because a resistive force is present. Who is that? What are the resistive forces? Frictional force acting at the point of suspension. Alright, another one is the resistance offered by air. So if you can remove these two forces, then you will get the same thing, means the pendulum will oscillate with the constant amplitude for infinite time. So the practical case, the vibration of the simple pendulum you are observing, that is known as damped vibration. Damped means what? The vibration completely dies out after some time, and you will observe when the body will vibrate, then the amplitude of vibration it decreases with time and a resistive force is present. So what is the definition of damped vibration? The periodic vibration of a body with decreasing amplitude in presence of a resistive force is known as damped vibration. So you must learn the definition of damped vibration for your board exam. You must learn the definition of free vibration and all the example as I said, and the definition of damped vibration also you must learn. Then here you see I have drawn two graphs, that is the displacement time graph. This is the displacement time graph for natural or free vibration. Just to make the video length short, I have already drawn it so that I can save my time. So how you will draw the diagram? First you draw the y-axis, then you draw the x-axis along one ruled line. Alright, then above the x-axis, this is the x-axis, above x-axis after 3-4 line you draw a dotted line. At the same height below the x-axis also draw a dotted line. I hope you have understood what I mean to say. Means this distance and this distance, they should be the same. Then you draw the wave. Alright, this is the wave of the, or this is the diagram for the free vibration when there is no periodic force. Now you observe the diagram. You know that for a displacement time diagram, this height represents the amplitude. So you see amplitude is remaining same. Alright, amplitude as well as frequency, everything remaining same. And here I have stopped the diagram, but if you continue, then how long it will continue? It will continue till infinite time. So this is the displacement time graph for normal or free vibration. Now come to damped vibration. For damped vibration, how we will draw the diagram? First you draw the y-axis, vertical line, x-axis you will draw along one ruled line. Then you mark these 2 points, alright, at same length from the x-axis. Means this length and this length, they should be the same. Then you draw this curved line by dotted line, freehand, and similar kind try to draw. Okay, and then you draw the curve, draw the graph. Here you, if you observe the graph, you see here amplitude was this much, then amplitude is decreasing, and one time is coming when it is totally, the motion totally dies out. Alright, so you see this is the difference between the free vibration and damped vibration, and both the graphs are very important for your board exam. So you must practice, you must draw it in the study material notebook. Not only that, you must practice it for your board exam. Next is differences between free vibration and damped vibration. I have written weave, but you should not write, you should write the full term vibration. Alright, now this is also important topic for your exam, that what are the differences for free vibration and damped vibration. We know it already, that for free vibration amplitude of vibration is constant with time, whereas for damped vibration amplitude of vibration decreases with time and finally it becomes zero, it totally dies out. Alright, in case of free vibration, there is no external force acting on the vibrating body, and in case of damped vibration, there is a resistive force acting on the body. In case of free vibration, if you consider the frequency of vibration, then frequency of vibration is constant, and frequency of vibration depends on size and shape of the body. Whereas for damped vibration, frequency of vibration is less than the natural frequency of vibrating body, and the decrease in the frequency, it depends on the resistive force, the damping force. Alright, and if you consider the free vibration, why the amplitude of vibration it remain constant, why it vibrate for infinite time? Because there is no loss of energy of the vibrating body. That's why it can continue its vibration for infinite time with the same amplitude. But in case of damped vibration, there is loss of energy of the vibrating body, and most of the cases the loss of energy takes place to overcome the resistive force, frictional force, and you know that whenever we overcome the frictional force, then the work done, it is manifest itself in the form of heat. So that's why loss of energy of the vibrating body takes place in the form of heat for damped vibration. So whatever I have discussed, that is summarized here, that for first point of difference, amplitude of vibration. Write down vibration in your study material notebook, don't write vibe. Amplitude of vibration is constant with time, and for damped vibration, amplitude of vibration decreases with time and ultimately becomes zero. Then second point, no external force acts on the vibrating body, and for damped vibration, resistive forces act on the vibrating body. Third point, there is no loss of energy of the vibrating body, and for damped vibration, some energy of the vibrating body is lost in the form of heat. And fourth point, frequency of the vibrating body is constant. It depends on, don't write constant, full form you must write TNT. It depends on size and shape of the body, whereas in case of damped vibration, frequency of vibration is less than the natural frequency of the vibrating body, and the decrease in frequency depends on the damping force. Next is, what are the examples of damped vibration? Whatever example I have given for this one, natural or free vibration, every case we have assumed that there is no resistive force. Means vibration of a simple pendulum in vacuum or free space. That was the example of free vibration. Then what will be the example of, corresponding example of damped vibration? The vibration of a simple pendulum in presence of air. Like that, if you have suspended a mass from a spring, then we have assumed in the natural vibration that there is no air, nothing, isn't it? It was executed, the vibration executed in vacuum. But if you consider the practical case, means when you are suspending a mass by a spring in air, then that will become a damped vibration. Alright, so I hope the concept of free vibration and damped vibration clear to everyone. Then next kind of vibration is forced vibration. From the term only one can understand. Forced vibration means you are forcing the body to vibrate. How you are forcing the body to vibrate? By applying an external force. And when you are applying the external force at regular interval of time, you are exerting the external force. So what kind of external force you are exerting on the body? That is external periodic force. So when the vibration of a body takes place under the influence of an external periodic force, then the vibration of the body is known as forced vibration. The most common example of forced vibration, when you play any musical instrument, alright, you are playing a guitar, you are playing a sitar, you are playing any kind of musical instrument, what you are doing, I hope you can imagine, you can understand that how any musical instruments are played. Either you strike the string of an instrument, or you pluck the string of an instrument at regular interval of time at a systematic manner, or you beat the stretched membrane in case of tabla and any other drums. What you do, you beat it, means you apply the force on the membrane at regular interval of time. And so these are all examples of forced vibration. Alright. So what is forced vibration? The definition of forced vibration everybody should learn and prepare for your exam, that the vibrations of a body which takes place under the influence of an external periodic force acting on it are called forced vibration. Alright. Now, in case of forced vibration, the most important concept is that whenever forced vibration takes place, then remember that the body is having its own natural frequency. Means if the body is set itself to vibrate freely, then it will vibrate with one frequency. That is known as the vibration, means frequency of free vibration. Now, there is another force you are applying externally, and that too you are applying periodically. What does it mean? Periodically means it is having some time period, and frequency is what? 1 upon time period. So the external force, it has some frequency. Is that clear? So whenever forced vibration is considered, then there are two frequencies we have to deal with. That one is the natural frequency of the vibrating body, another is the frequency of the external periodic force. I repeat, what are the two frequencies we have to deal in case of forced vibration? First is the natural frequency of the vibrating body, and second is the frequency of the applied force. Alright, now if the frequency of the applied force and the frequency, natural frequency of the vibrating body becomes equal, then a nice thing, interesting thing takes place. What is the interesting thing? That the body starts vibrating with a large magnitude, large amplitude. Alright, amplitude of vibration of the body becomes very high when the natural frequency of the vibrating body becomes equal to the frequency of the applied force. Alright, and you know that any vibrating body, it produces sound. Alright, so when this takes place, means what I said, the natural frequency of the vibrating body becomes equal to the frequency of the applied force, then the body starts vibrating with a very, very high amplitude and it produces a loud sound. Clear? So this phenomena is known as resonance. So resonance is the most important topic in this chapter. Alright. So you must learn what is the definition of resonance and what is the condition of resonance. So what is the definition of resonance? When the frequency of the external applied force becomes equal to the natural frequency of the vibrating body, the body starts vibrating with an increased amplitude and a loud sound is produced. So this phenomena is known as resonance. You must learn the definition. So, if I ask you now, what is the condition for resonance? You see, the condition of resonance is written within the definition of resonance. What is the condition of resonance? The frequency of the external applied force becomes equal to natural frequency of the vibrating body. This is the condition for resonance. So, condition for resonance, you must write down. I have not written here. You must write it down separately in the notebook. Okay. First write down the definition of resonance, learn it, then write down this point, this underlined part separately. That is the condition for resonance, and that also you must learn that what is the condition for resonance. Then the differences between forced vibration and resonant vibration. I have written again vibe, you must write down the full form vibration. So we have seen that in case of forced vibration, what happens? The amplitude of the vibration is quite small. But in case of resonant vibration, the amplitude of vibration is quite large. Alright? Now, in case of forced vibration, the external frequency of the external periodic force is not equal to or different from the natural frequency of the vibrating body. But in case of resonant vibration or resonance, what happened? The frequency of the external applied force is equal to the natural frequency of the vibrating body. In case of forced vibration, the vibration continues for a small period of time after the external force has ceased to act or stops acting. Okay. And in case of resonant vibration, the vibration continues for a long time after the external force has ceased to act. So these are the three important point of differences between the forced vibration and resonant vibration. That first point of difference is amplitude of vibration is small. For resonant vibration, amplitude of vibration is very large. For second, frequency of the external periodic force is not equal to the natural frequency of the vibrating body, and in case of resonant vibration, frequency of external periodic force is equal to the natural frequency of the vibrating body. Third point of difference, the vibration lasts for a small time after the periodic force has ceased to act, and for resonant vibration, the point is vibration lasts for a long time after the periodic force has ceased to act. Thank you, girls.